Welcome.
To the joy of coding.
Hello, and welcome to episode 251 of The Joy of Coding. My name is Mike Conley. It's so good to see you. It's so good to be back. I've been away. I've been away for a couple weeks. I've been on vacation, and now I am back. It's good to be back. Normally, after a vacation, it takes me a little bit to build up my stamina, to do these live hacking sessions. So it's possible that this session might need to be a little bit shorter than normal. We'll see. You might also notice that I'm still using my headset mic. One of the fascinating things I've learned since upgrading to Big Sur is that my USB microphone interface device will work if you install the driver, but then when you restart your operating system, it stops working until you reinstall the driver. That's one of the things I've learned about Big Sur and this old USB interface. So I don't know if I'm going to need a new one or I'm going to have to find some hack, but that's where I'm at with that. Let's get started. Enough of me complaining about technology. Let's get started. So if you're new to the stream, welcome. And a reminder: no plan survives breakfast. That is the name of the game. That is the motto of the series. No plan survives breakfast. I kind of know what I want to do today, or at least I did. But things will change. In fact, the things that I have listed here, I might not even get to because something else just showed up on my lap, and I'm hoping we can look at that first. But no plan survives breakfast. I don't know how things are going to go. Things might go horribly wrong. The stream might fall over. And we'll just deal with it as it comes. So just hang in there, and we'll deal with it as we go. Um, Looks like the live hacking bridge is working, and I see Smurfd saying welcome back. Thank you. It's so good to have you. Good to see you, Smurfd. All right. So what do we want to do here? Right, the agenda. We are looking at the agenda right now, and it's kind of giving me a sense of a roadmap. It's got a bunch of handy links. It's got links to like the episode guide and like how you can contribute to the episode guide. It's going to have links to all of the stuff that I'm working on today, and you have access to this agenda, and you should check it out if you are watching the stream and want to follow along. So if you are watching this on Air Mozilla, it's in the details section. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's in the video description, and if you're watching this on Twitch, then let me drop. Excuse me. Let me drop the link to the agenda into the Twitch chat right now. Agenda. Booyah, episode 251. And that will update periodically, like as I change this, it will synchronize in the background and just reload and it will update. So, what do I want to work on today? Great question. The thing I was originally going to work on was this bug in Windows 7 where our new theme, if you check out the bug that I linked to here, I wish I could just click on that, but I guess I can't. The Windows 7 version of Firefox, we've got the new theme here, but you'll notice that the tab title does not sort of fade out at the very end. This is a longer tab title. Notice how it doesn't fade out at the end where it's supposed to. Like, check out what's happening here where it does fade out. Note that like we also truncate a little bit to make it easier to access the close button there. But notice how it fades out as it goes to the end of the tab title. And that's not new. That's something we've had for a while. But I think we broke it for Windows 7, and that's one of the things I was hoping to look at today. But just before the stream started, I had landed a patch or a series of patches this morning, and I just got backed out. So I want to check out what that's all about. So what did I land this morning, and why to get backed out? That's the question. What I landed was a series of patches to change the casing of the app menu to be in sentence case. This is something that, we'd been tinkering with months ago. It was kind of a lower priority thing, but it's something that we've wanted to do for a while, where we changed the string casing inside the app menu and a bunch of other panels to be in sentence case rather than title case. So notice that the T in tab here is in lowercase, the W over here is in lowercase. So like it reads like a sentence where unless it's a proper noun, the only word that's capitalized is the first word, and otherwise everything is in lowercase. And that's not what we ship today. This is currently what we ship, and like you can see new tab, the T is capitalized. So that's the thing that I landed this morning, the sentence casing, which sounds simple. It should be simple. It's just string changes. Just string changes, he says, and puts air quotes around it. And that's true. Yes, it is just string changes. But there's a bunch of work that needs to happen under the hood in order to make those string changes not require our localizers to have to like recompute a bunch of strings. And there's also the thing where, like, in our native menus, we want a bunch of strings to still be in title case. So in Mac OS, the HIG, or like the guidelines, the conventions on the operating system for the menu on Mac OS is to use, title case, which is what we were always shipping. And we had historically been sharing these strings with, they'd use the same string key value pair. And as soon as we realized that some of them need to be in sentence case, some of them need to be in title case, we had to do what's called string forking. So we had to like clone a bunch of strings so that we could keep them in title case for the native menus and then put them in sentence case for the other ones. And that's like one example of where the complexity shows up, is when your people are sharing these strings so that they don't have to duplicate strings all over the place, and that's good. But whenever you want to change the behavior in one place and not in the other, you have to fork. You have to split them up, and then that involves auditing. Like, where are these strings being used? For each of these strings, we had to find out where are they being used, and does it make sense to be able to put them in title case in some cases and sentence case in another, or can they all just go into sentence case? And that's, it's a little arduous, but that's what we did. That is what led up to this, and then we did it. We did all that work, and just today I landed the patches, and then I got backed out. So let's try and figure out why we got backed out. So according to the comment from the tree sheriff at Tila, I got backed out for causing failures in browser underscore sync. So here's the push with the failures. Let's take a look at the... Oh, this might be... I see. This might be a case of us just needing to update a test. It looks like there's a test, browser underscore sync, that uses a hard-coded string. And that might be something we want to fix. So let's open up this test, browser underscore sync. And where was it saying that it failed? Well, I guess if we just look for manage account with the title case manage account, there are two places. And it looks like we're checking the button panel, header title, manage account. I see. And we're going to put that, I think what we want to do is put that into sentence case, manage account. Well, first of all, let's make sure that this test fails locally. So I'll build real quick. SmurfD says good with possibly easy fixes. That's right. I love easy fixes. It feels like cheating. All right. Here is, and when it comes to programming, I love cheating. I love cheating. I don't like shortcuts, but I do like cheating. I'll take the wins I can get, even if they're not pretty. But I obviously do a good job. Take pride in your work. Don't do shortcuts that are going to burn you later. But yeah, see. Oh, and I'm noticing as well, there's a little inconsistency there. Did you notice that one of the strings said connect another account, and that was still in title case? And sign out is still in title case? So maybe we need to update those as well. But that is slightly out of scope, because this bug is updating the app menu, and yet this is part of the app menu, the sign out and stuff. I guess we should update it. Okay, I guess we should update it. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to run this build. I'm going to sign into my test account, my test email account. And I need the password for it because I generated it and I don't remember what it is. So hold on a second. Just get it real quick. Come on. Gotta unlock my password manager and then I'll paste the password in. What? Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Wrong account type. One sec. Calling test. Unlock layer 2. All right. And then paste that in. Don't save. Well, I guess in this account I will save it. And now I need a code. Hold on a second. Another one moment. Another one moment, please, while I get this authentication code. You get to watch me putting passwords in and stuff. That's cool, right? Now you know how many characters are in them. Or at least in my test account. Hahaha. This is a useless account. Doesn't mean anything. All right. So now we're signed in. And so we can see here that we've got a couple of strings that still need to be updated. Connect another device, send tab to device, sign out. XXCure07 says, "Hey, I like that new Mozilla update. Hey, I like you. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it." All right, let's find these strings. Let's update them. I'll also update this test so it passes now. Manage account. That was the original intent, was to make sure that the test passes. All right, so now the test passes, but now I have those other strings I want to update, which were connect another device. What were they? Connect another device, send tab to device, and sign out. Now I'm worried a little bit. I want to make sure that this isn't being used in any menu items. I'm going to need to worry. This is one of those auditing situations where you have to make sure that these are not being used in menu items somewhere. So connect another device, because that could be used under here maybe. Is there anything in here that, or maybe in a context menu, but let's find out. Let's start by looking for the string. Connect another device. That's always a great way of starting. Connect another device. Now there are a couple of instances of it being used, so I don't actually know which one is which. At menu remote tabs connect device dot label. Connect another device. That would be my guess as to which one it's using. Let's take a look in the inspector. We can take a quick peek at the item. There is a data L10N ID, so it's not the old school one. FXA menu connect another device. Okay, and who is using this? Only the one place, right? Nothing else is using this? It's in a panel. It's not used elsewhere. Correct. Okay, so that means we can just straight up update this string. No problem. What about send tab to device? Well, let's do that real quick then. FXA connect menu another device. What was that? That was in sync.ftl. Connect another device. So there are a couple of others in here, like turn on sync, sync settings, sign out. This one's in sentence case. It's really inconsistent. Let's just look for send tab to device. Where's that one coming from? Send tab to device. This does not have a data L10N ID, which means it's probably using old school non-fluent. Oh no, it doesn't look like it. It must be being inserted dynamically via JavaScript. Send tab to device. This might be a tricky one. Send tab button. Let's see if there's anyone who uses this in script. Yes, send tab button. Set attribute label to be the title. Title, we get plural form, send tabs to device label. Update, send tab to device. Oh boy. Okay. And that's using this old school non-fluent, the properties stuff. Send tab to device, send tabs to device. Okay. Well, I can at the I can update these now. I don't have to necessarily port this one to Fluent, I don't think. That sounds like it'd be more work than I want to do for this particular bug. But I can at least update this. All right. And then the other one was sign out. And that looks like it's using FXA menu sign out, and that is used in just the one place. Great. So that means we can update that one very easily. Sign out. And there were a few more in here. Turn on sync. FXA menu sync settings. Where's that being used? Just in the one place. Now, I can't see it in here, but I would imagine. Oh, wait a second. Is this? This is in the FXA menu. If you, it's like hidden. Why would? When would you unhide it? If sync is not enabled, or oh, if you have only sync hidden is if you don't have sync enabled or you have only one client, which I do. I haven't connected another client. But at any rate, I can put that into sends case. This one, turn on sync, is also just used in the one place. Turn on sync. And then turn on sync default. I don't know where that one's being used. Looks like it's being used in script for a header. But that's not going to be inside. That's updating the panel. It's not updating any native menus, so we can also put that one in sends case. Let us now close this panel because it's in the way. Turn on sync, signed out, disconnect, blah, blah, blah. So that looks pretty good. Let us rebuild. SmurfD says he does not have any commands, but this is what he is working on today. Oh, I guess exclamation mark project is supposed to give you a readout of what it is that I'm working on. I'm not like a big sort of like Twitch personality in that, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what Twitch I just broadcast on it almost like a pirate pirate radio. Like I don't even, I'm not part of the Twitch culture. I don't really get it. So if there's stuff that you need that Twitch streamers who are really experienced generally provide, I'm sorry, I probably don't have those for you. But you know, maybe someday I'll be really good at this Twitch stuff, and then you'll be happy. So these all look like they're in decent shape. I wonder if Firefox account should also be in sentence case. I think it should. Let's do that as well. account. Firefox account. What is the string it's using? That's the panel header. And where does that panel header come from? Title. Comes from the title of the panel view. And so we have to look at the panel UI FXA element. It doesn't look like there is a built-in title. I think it probably comes from script. Vinic me goes exclamation mark commands. I don't have that either, I don't think. Vinic me says the latest Firefox is an absolute treat. Congrats to you and your team for working on it. Hey, you're the best. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful comment. I'm going to convey that to the team. You're very kind. You're very kind, and thank you for using Firefox. Smurfy says if you have a Twitch bot, you can have commands show different things configured by the streamer. I don't have a Twitch bot. I have a bridge bot that's allowing me to be communicating with you from Matrix, but I don't have a Twitch bot. Should I get one? Let me know. There's a link in the agenda that says rate this episode, and this is a great way for you to give me feedback on a particular episode. I read everything that comes in. If you think that I should have a Twitch bot, maybe that's something that you would find very handy. Let me know, and then maybe if you're an experienced Twitch person, let me know how to do that. You can just let me know and rate this episode. I've been around the block. I've set up a bot before, but if it's useful, maybe I should do it. Maybe I should do it. Let's see where this title gets set. Does it ever get set? Title. Header title. Account disconnected. Default label. Header title. Header title. At menu. FXA manage account. Menu header. Title element. What is this? Is header title, and I don't think that's what we care about, right? Like, for some reason this has a title attribute set on it, and I don't know where it's coming from. I think that's something that like panel multi-view kind of does. Panel multi-view is a library that we use for these slidey panels. Let me get this panel out of the way. And it gets titles from somewhere. Where does it get titles? Show subview. Anchor, DOM element that will trigger the subview to be highlighted, whose label attribute will be used for the title of the subview when a title attribute is not specified. So the anchor but the anchor's label, the anchor is this thing, or the anchor is really this thing over here. So that's not right. Maybe what we can do is we can follow along through here and see where the title gets set. Title. Yeah, let's set a breakpoint inside of show subview and see where the title comes from. So debugger, panel multi-view, and we'll set a breakpoint there. Okay, so we're inside our breakpoint. This is kind of annoying because it's in the way. All right, so where is this title coming from? We're going to step through, step through, step through, step through, step through, step through, step through. Okay, it's open now. Capture known size. There's a bunch of like size hacks, and then here's where the interesting thing is. View node. Okay, this is the thing I want to know about. What's the value that we're getting here? View node, get attribute title. Nothing. Oh, nope, there it is. So view node is the panel view. Right. So for some reason, this thing has Firefox account set on it. When did that happen? When did panel UI FXA get title set on it? And maybe we should be going the opposite direction. Where is their Firefox account? Like where's that string? And maybe find out where it's used. Firefox account, sync brand, brand name, capitalization. Interesting. FXA brand name. App menu FXA header. That sounds really relevant. App menu FXA header. Fluent strings format. So here's where it happens. We set the title to be that. And what's interesting is that it looks like there's already some infrastructure in place to change the capitalization. Let's see if we can find an example of it being used with sentence case. I wonder if, like, is that, here, let's get out of our breakpoint. Firefox account. Sentence capitalization, here, that's how you do it. Capitalization sentence. So maybe, that's what we need to do here inside of app menu. FTL. FX account brand name. And instead of doing it like that, we'll say like this. All right, let us restart or rebuild and try that again and see what we've got. More chat. I have tried and give up many note-taking apps, but seeing you use Evernote for years gave me hope. Some tips, please. Okay, well, I do use Evernote sometimes. This is Evernote. It's not bad. It's gotten, in my opinion, a little bit worse over the years. I think they rejigged their UI. It's like it's written using React now. It's an Electron app, and there are pluses and minuses. I find that it is less reliable now. Periodically, I think the browser rendering engine will stop responding, and it will just be like, the browser's not responding. That's rendering the page. Should I just restart? And then I go, yes. For a while there, it was also like pulling focus. I think they fixed that bug. They'd tell me that it was up to date, and in order to tell me that their own app was up to date, it would pull focus, and that was extremely annoying. It's become less annoying, and I'm still using it, but I have also been trying to use Joplin. Joplin is what I'm using for the agendas. I've been piloting using it for my own note taking for bugs. This is a bug note that I ported, and you can easily import things into Joplin. And Joplin is free, open source, cross-platform. I mean, it is also an Electron app, I'm pretty sure, but it's much lighter weight. You can self-host the thing that it synchronizes with. There's a really neat API. Like the thing I'm using to synchronize the agenda with my website is powered by a bunch of Python, but the way it works is this Joplin runs a local server, and then you like a local web server that responds. It offers a REST API, so you can like interrogate Joplin over this local web server for things like, hey, tell me what notes have been updated recently, or tell me what notes you have with a particular tag, and it's really cool. All right. Anyways, uh, do I have any other tips? I'm trying to think here. I mean, Joplin's great. I think don't over rotate on trying to organize right off the bat. Starting is always better than trying to spend a bunch of time architecting this brilliant organization of everything. It's better to like start, take some notes, and then evolve an organization for yourself. Like over time, I have evolved in Evernote, like the different folders that I need, the different notebooks, and the different tags. I didn't start with all these notebooks and tags. I evolved them as the need arose, and I find that that's like a better approach is to just start and feel where the pains are, and then adjust, rather than trying to like head off any sort of foresee what you think might be pains in the future. All right, so we've got our instance of Firefox here. Oh, I still have my breakpoint. Whoops. I'm going to disable that breakpoint. And hey, look, sentence case, sentence case, sentence case. Booyah. Much better. So here's what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to... oh, someone writes, how about FS notes? Never used it, I'm afraid. So I can't really comment. I'm going to merge uh, that change, the test change, into um, the existing commit, but I'm going to create a new commit. Vinnick Kami says, "Take care, stay safe. Hope you and family are vaccinated." I have one shot. I'm in Ontario. I'm in Toronto, and here they haven't opened up shots, second doses to everyone just yet. And but that's soon. It's on the roadmap. So in a couple of maybe a month or so, they might open up the floodgates for people getting their second doses. But Ontario, for a while there, we were not doing so well with vaccination. Now we're doing really well. You know, the vaccines are they're really coming, and I'm very thankful for that. Uh, I got my first shot. Team vaccinated. Uh, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an additional commit on top of this. Sentence case some FXA panel strings. And I'm going to ask Flawed to review these. And then I will push this up for review. Moz, Fab, submit, yada yada yada. Anyways, thank you, Vinit Kami, for saying those kind things. You also be safe out there. The world, I feel an optimism. I feel optimism. You know, things were looking pretty dire. At least in Canada, we were, or in Ontario, we were in this third wave that was like really brutal. And we've been in a kind of a stay-at-home lockdown state for a long time. I'm looking forward to seeing family. I can't wait. MozFab reorg, because I've got a new, I don't know if this is going to work. I've always found this a little flaky. Nah, it doesn't think reorganization is needed. Maybe it did it automatically. Sentence case, some FXA panel strings. Let's see if it's organized it all correctly. Oh, good, it did. And we'll wait for review there, and then we'll try landing these again. But while I'm doing that, let me run the test again just to make sure that none of those changes are going to result in even more test breakage. And then, while we wait for review, we can do that Windows 7 thing, because I think that might be interesting. I've got my Windows 7 VM working. I don't know if people were watching whenever I experienced my Windows 7 VM not working properly. Like I couldn't get the mouse to work. It turns out I needed to revoke. It's like a VMware Fusion bug. I had to revoke um, accessibility and a number of permissions from the Mac OS. I had to revoke the permissions for VMware Fusion in a number of places and have VMware Fusion re-request them because I guess the permissions didn't persist properly after the upgrade. But that seemed to fix things. All right, let us look at this bug. I'm going to pull from Central in Windows 7. Oh, camera froze. Camera froze. Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. Hold on. Such an embarrassing thing. Hopefully you can still hear me. You know what I think has happened? Just one moment. I think the VM has taken over the camera. So I'm going to I hope you can hear me. I'm going to disconnect. It's a very embarrassing freeze frame of me massaging my own shoulder. I'm going to disconnect the webcam from Windows. Here we go. See if that works. Oh yeah, and now it's all broken. Now I'm gonna zoom in, and autofocus is on again. Let me turn off autofocus. Focus, and now we're gonna. Hey, that's the joy of coding, where the streams are not always smooth. Now, this is a thing I've noticed a couple times whenever I'm working on my Windows 7 VM, is that like I'll try and do something like pull from the repository, and it will complain that it's waiting for a lock on my local repository, which is really strange because I do not have any other like Mercurial processes running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control C out of that. Hopefully you can see everything. I know this is a little small. Let me clear. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that lock and just remove it. And then I can... Normally just deleting a lock file can be really sketchy if you're not like really confident that that lock is being held for a good reason. Just deleting a lock is like asking for trouble. But I know that no other Mercurial process is running, so that lock was probably this like vestigial leftover from Mercurial not cleaning itself up. Um, yes, we hear and see what you share, says Smurfy. Hello, the call of Windows has summoned me here. Hi, hi, Dr. Goldfire. Yes, all one needs to do is say Windows 3 times in a mirror, and Dr. Goldfire will like Kool-Aid, like just smash through a wall and be like, "Did someone say Windows?" It's great. The camera also doesn't survive breakfast. Yes, correct. Things will go wrong all of the time. So sometimes it isn't the lock file, it's HG store lock. I get that lock error all the time too. I just delete the lock file. Yeah, that's what I do. I don't know what the deal is. I'm curious, Dr. Goldfire, do you get that on Windows 10 too, or just I've only ever seen it on my Windows 7 VM, and I don't know. Oh yeah, hang on. Do I have that somewhere? I feel like I should have that as a. I've got like. I've got
Oh yeah.
which isn't exactly oh yeah, but it's pretty close.
Oh yeah.
All right. Uh, let's see if we yeah, when Dr. Goldfire experiences it on Windows 10. I see. So maybe it's just a Windows Mercurial thing or a Mozilla build thing. Oh, wait. I don't need to ask it to use artifact builds because my VM always uses artifact builds because my VM is very weak. And it doesn't have auto clobber, and I should probably just give it auto clobber, but I haven't done that. Build. Want to watch me pick a lock while we wait for this build? This is hopefully this is not going to get me in trouble. I don't know what the laws are. I don't know if this might put me in legal jeopardy. I hope not. Um, just saying that makes me wonder whether or not I should do this. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. Let's wait for this build to complete. So while we're waiting for this build to complete, just a review of what it is that we're looking to try and fix here is the long tab title not fading properly. So one of the things that I want to know right off the bat is how does the tab title normally fade? Like how does that fade effect work? Maybe we can try and discover that while we wait for this build. So this title is not long enough. I'm going to manipulate this title with the dev tools. Document.title equals this is a really long title, and hopefully it will, I gotta spell it right, hopefully it will fade out when it reaches the edge of the tab. Yeah, okay, so there's our fade. Let's see if we can get a sense of what's causing the fade to occur. Now, don't be fooled by the fade in attribute here. That is something that this sub node of tab inherits from this outer node. It's an attribute that is set on the outer node and has nothing to do with the tab title. Fade in is actually like a really sort of old attribute that was introduced way back in the day whenever tabs started to first animate in and out. Fade in means to animate in, and when you remove that attribute, the tab is doing the animate, like the close animation. Why it's called fade in and fade out, I don't know. Maybe whenever they first did this, the tabs faded rather than like slid and grew and shrank or something. So yeah, how does this fade work? Let's take a look at the rules. So that's the color that's set on the tab title. And that, oh, there's a mask. Tab label mask size. Yeah, look at that on tab browser. So there's something that's using this mask. Tab label mask size. I don't I don't know what this thing is. Okay, so there is a linear gradient mask being applied to the tab label container whenever it's overflowing. It's a mask image. And so I guess one thing we can try and figure out when our build is done is whether or not that is being applied. So let's take a look. Andrew Batella says lock file picking lawyer. I love it. I love it. Now notice there is a little bit of a fade here, but only whenever I hover it with my mouse. So I got a feeling there's a rule that's being overridden or something. Like the actual technology for doing the fade isn't broken. It's the CSS that's broken. Lock picking lawyer, Mike's edition. Yes, this will be my opportunity to plug a channel that I really enjoy, a YouTube channel. Much, it's not like this fellow isn't already very popular, but if you like the idea of lock picking and watching someone very competent do something that requires quite a bit of skill, lock picking, and to like describe things with a high degree of detail, check out the lockpicking lawyer on YouTube because I love that channel. I love watching this person just um, methodically solve the problem of picking locks, and it will absolutely destroy any faith you had in the security of your locks. That's what it did for me. There are these tools that he started to use um, that make lock picking like a very almost lock, not just lock picking, but lock decoding, which means it gives you the values that you need in order to cut a copy of a key without the initial key. Like he can put this tool in, decode the lock, get the values, cut a key, and then have that key work. He can do that in like less than a minute. At least getting the values, and then cutting the key is trivial at that point, and he can do it like remotely. And it's just watching them do it is both fascinating and terrifying. Uh, all right, so here's the label. It is, I believe, overflowing. Um, text overflow. This remove attribute text overflow is there is no text overflow being applied. Interestingly, if I set text overflow on it, what happens? Text overflow true. So that's the problem. The text overflow attribute isn't being applied, I think. Now, is that why would that be? Why? Let us try manipulating this title a bit and making sure it really does overflow. So document.title is that. I'm going to add a bunch of stuff to the end. Add a bunch of stuff to the end. And now let's underflow it. Let old title or long title equals that. Oh, that's put even more to the end. That's fine. And then document.title equals short. And now document.title equals long title. So now it works. Now it noticed that it overflows. Short, long. Let's go back to the original bug report. Long tab title is displayed without a fade. Right. So that's by going to the privacy notice. What if I go to like any other page? So if I go to say, what's a page that definitely has a long title? Like this bug report page. Let us go there. So that works. I wonder if the privacy notice is just long enough to not overflow. It's just like just under. So it doesn't overflow, which means that the attribute doesn't get set. Whereas on Mac OS, if I were to open a new window, let's try it here. Oh no, so you kind of get the same effect. So this is not Windows only. It's just that like the problem is that this is really tight. Notice how tight that is. So I wonder if the issue is that we want to, when we hover, we do this. And maybe that's the effect we want it to look like always. What's doing that? Let's understand that. And the way we can do that is by using a pseudo class for hover. And nope, that's not doing it. It's not on the tab. What about the tab, the arrow scroll box? Nope. What about the tabs strip itself? Nope. What about the tabs toolbar? No. Interesting. Maybe I'm going to. Yeah, maybe I'm. I need to like. I think I have the wrong one highlighted. That's why. That's why it's not working. This is the one. That's why it's not working. Before hovered. Notice that before hovered happens there, and then if I expand this one out, tab content. Yeah, text overflow is true. Why is that? It overflows because of something. Is like some style changing on this? The style is changing on it. What is this? Selected fade in. We remove that rule. And then like the opacity is doing this wacky thing too. What is this rule all about? And why does it not apply? Because only when we don't hover it do we do this. So let's see if we can understand where this is coming from. The following rule sets allow showing more of the tab title. So we intentionally show more of the tab title until we hover. Interesting. Let's look at the history here. Allow the selected tabs to extend into the start side of the close button's padding when it's not hovered to show more text. There's someone at the door. I have to go. I'm just hold. Just think about this while I run and check the door. One moment. All right. Um, so this looks like allow the selected tabs to extend. It was done intentionally, and then look at the. We're just reviewing now. Agree that the current night state is still not right. Clarify, build. Then there were some regressions. Let's look at the conversation in the review here. Uh, I think so. I'm. I don't think there is a great. All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. I have to basically. I'm gonna turn this into a comment and see if I can get more information from Jared, who worked on the original bug. So let's see. I think this is a byproduct of here, this bug here. For the example, note that here, I'm actually going to post a new image. Note that the example your document in comment 0 seems to be just under the title length limit before it starts the fade. If you visit a page with a longer title, this bug is actually a perfect example. You get the fade. See screenshot. The fade only occurs when we detect that the text is long enough to overflow its container, which the comment 0 URL, document title rather, is just under. It's just under. So let's attach the screenshot of the longer title. Interestingly, so I don't really know what the right move here is. Bug 1695140 was landed in order to bias towards showing more of the tab title, which is exactly what we're doing here. Perhaps we were being overzealous, or perhaps this rule should only be applied when tabs are really small. What do you think, Jared? Jaws, rather. So, over to Jaws. All right, so that's done, or rather, we have moved that forward just a little bit. Still waiting on review, I think, for this other one. Could be wrong. Let's see. Did a review come in the meantime? It did. It did. Wow, that was fast. That was really fast. So we can try landing all of this now. So we're going to try re-landing this. Good old reviewer. Good old reviewers here. Yeah. 117. Which one is it complaining about? 067. No, people reviewed that. I don't know what you're complaining about. Land. Do it. All right. Let's see if there's anything else we can do before we run out of time. It is 2 o'clock, and I want to look at this other one, which is really just a cleanup bug. This is about removing an old pref for some bookmarks toolbar stuff that we did way, way back in the day. Part of that work introduced a pref, which is used for experimentation and gating of the feature work. After we've included experimentation, we should remove the preference and the then dead code. That will result from the decision of which behavior to use going forward. I'd love to take this issue. I don't know if we're ready to remove the pref yet. We're still gathering data to determine the effects of this change. We should have those results in a couple of weeks. So maybe this is more of a, hey Jared, another hey Jared. Can I presume, and then maybe it's not my place to take this bug because it's a pretty straightforward bug. Maybe maybe I can mentor someone on it though. Are we, I think, and when was this set to true? Add keyboard back in the 16th of December 2020, which was this comment was from January 14th, so has been set to true for a number of months now. Can we presume this is where we want to keep it and can remove the pref and its false branches? All right. Anything else? You know what? I think I'm actually going to stop here. I've it doesn't feel like we've done a whole lot, but I'm also still getting my stamina up, and I don't really have anything else I had slated in front of me just yet, and I don't want to spend the next 17 minutes trying to find a thing. So I'm going to stop here. Just going to kind of ramp up. Next week, I promise I'll do a longer, more full-fledged, better planned episode. And maybe I'll even have the microphone working if I can figure out the driver issue. So thanks again for watching episode 251 of The Joy of Coding. I hope that was interesting. And I will see you next week with episode 252. Thank you again, and hang on, let me just switch screens. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
The joy of coding.
See ya.